I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm baffled. I'm lost for words. My brain feels like it was yanked out of my head through my ear, squished and stretched like an old piece of gum, then thrown into a blender, blended into a pulp, and then somehow reassembled and jammed back in through the other ear. And then, only then, do I maybe finally can understand what's going on or get a glimpse of this guy. I can't even talk properly right now to you guys. I can't, and there's no point, because what the fuck? I don't. And if I'm saying this right now, you're allowed to disagree with me. I say that in every single video. But if you think I'm being over the top about a 4-game losing streak, let me just be blatantly clear. I don't give a flying fuck about this 4-game losing streak. Because this goes on all season, going into last season and the year before that. The Jets overachieve and get lucky wins. You don't believe me? You think we're wrong? We've been saying this forever. We're fake fans. We're armchair GMs. We don't know what we're talking about. Paul fucking Stastny just said the exact same thing as me. For the last 10 to 15 games, maybe even longer, we have been carried by Hellebuyck on his back and lucky bounces and lucky wins. Oh, you don't say, Paul. I'm really glad that you have the ability to speak honestly. I'm so grateful for Paul Stastny to come out and say that, because not even Paul Maurice will take any fucking obligation or any blame for what the product of the ice is. He gets asked in the postgame if you need to take a scalpel to the Lions, if the Lions were the problem in this game, and he says the Lions were not the problem. He doesn't need to line juggle anything. It's not the personnel. Are you... what? What? In what world? That doesn't even make any sense. This was not even about the Jets losing 6-1 to the Oilers, because honestly, McDavid could have scored some of these goals even if the Jets were playing some of their best defensive hockey of the year. Because McDavid's McDavid and he blew by some shit defenders. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how when you look at these plays, they're bone-dead, brain-dead decisions from players that shouldn't even be in the ballpark of being NHL caliber. Guys like Tucker Pullman. I can't believe it, a year ago, I made a video talking about Tucker Pullman, how I thought he had top 4 potential. If I could go back and get a time machine right now, and I can only ever use it once, I would go back to that moment before I uploaded it and beat the shit out of myself for even thinking of that as an idea and uploading that as a concept for you guys to hear my thoughts on, because it makes me want to vomit just thinking a video like that is on my channel. I might even just pull it down because of how disgusting and gross it makes me to feel that I even thought of that. Because, on the 3-0 goal, I've never seen a defenseman make more of a bonehead fucking decision than Paul Postma. Paul Postma is better than Tucker Pullman, but I don't care about that. But goddamn Tucker Pullman. What type of defender pinches all the way down to basically on the level with the goal line, and then shoots it in front of the net where there's no forwards, where 2 defenders are, and then they are able to spring McDavid on a breakaway because obviously you're the defender. You're supposed to be covering him. You've left it. How many times did the fucking defenseman split like the Red Sea in this game? I already talked about all this in my 25-minute long video about Paul Maurice and all this crap yesterday. And I'm not going to go through deja vu and make that again. I'm going to keep this actually short. Because what's the point? I already said everything yesterday, and it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. I will tag that video. And you can go and you can skip through and jump around and hear my thoughts. It doesn't even matter if it's a different concept about the Leafs and all the potential stuff with the dirty things that everyone was talking about. None of that even matters. None of it does. Because I said this in the video yesterday, and I'll say this again. Those Jets games against the Leafs, it had nothing to do with the Leafs playing dirty, quotation marks, okay? I don't think they're dirty teams, because they're not a dirty team. But the point being, the Leafs could have played the cleanest game of hockey ever as seen by man, and the Jets would have still lost, because the Leafs are a way better team, a way better coach team, a better, just equipped team to go against a team like the Jets, because the Jets don't have a game plan. The Jets don't have a system. The Jets don't have any type of means of overall cohesiveness as a group, because they lack that seriously every night. How many games have you watched of the Jets this year where it feels like it's deja vu? Where you watch the power play, where you watch the top 6, where you watch the defensive pairings, where you watch Connor Hellebuyck bail us into a win somehow, or somehow carry us to a 1-goal loss or whatever it might be. How many of those games? How many of those games do you watch and you're like, I've not seen this before? Because for me, I watch almost every Jets game, and I can tell you I feel deja vu more often in not watching the Jets than I ever have in my entire life. They're beyond pathetic. This has nothing to do with the players. Not only did the players not show up, I'm not going to blame the players because, yeah, you can say whatever. It has to do with coaching because Paul Maurice ill-equipped his team to go into this matchup tonight. You go into the Oilers, a team that's fast, dynamic. Even Andrew Kopp said, you got to, pick it up and play better and dig in? That's your answer for digging in? Andrew Kopp was asked what they need to do better to win this game and get out of this slump. And he said, dig in. That's gonna work. That's the type of coaching that Paul Maurice is ingrained in these players. That if you dig in and you have grit and you got some good veteran presence and you know how to play and you've been in the league and you've seen the game, that you will be successful. Oh, excuse me while I vomit into my trash can. I'm beyond done with this. Fire fucking Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice needs to be let go immediately. I don't care. And if you're like, oh, you can't fire a coach going in the playoffs, why? Why not? Do you really want to see the Jets get eliminated in the first round? Because they will. Do you actually think they're going to be able to beat the Oilers? It has nothing to do. You can eliminate this game from the history of mankind. It doesn't exist. There's no record of it all. It's been mind wiped. Like Men in Black. Everyone, pa-ching. There you go. You can't see it anymore. You're gone. No memory of it. It doesn't matter. The Oilers have dominated us in every game basically we've played. So you still think they're a good matchup? The only team we have a chance at beating in the playoffs is the Habs, and there's no way that we could probably even match up with them if I'm not mistaken, because we can't get first anymore. So what the fuck is the point of even trying to make the playoffs to lose again? I said this in my live stream, and I'm going to link that as well, because you should just jump around and listen to my thoughts of the live stream, because I'm done with this. I don't even want to make this video. I don't. I told Zach, I told everyone in my live stream that I didn't want to make this video, because what's the point? I made a 25-minute long video yesterday talking and addressing about how this team can be better, the problems with this team, how glaringly obvious, how miscoached and misguided they are as a team. And then they do the exact same thing tonight against a lesser opponent. And the Oilers aren't even that bad of a team, but they're not as good as the Leafs. We all know that. And they dominate us more than the Leafs could. Not to mention, there was no soul in the Jets' play, no heart, no grit, nothing. They were invisible. Fuck, I didn't see Christian Vesalainen basically all game. He did nothing. Mason Appleton was probably one of our best forwards to start the game, and I thought he was pretty good throughout it. And Mark Scheifele Mark Scheifele had the option. Mark Scheifele had a chance to elevate himself into the names of guys like Matthews, Marner, Tavares, in the North, and cement himself as a top player in the North Division and a top 10, maybe top 15 player in the league. And he's failed tremendously at that. Mark Scheifele is not a top 15 player, and I love Mark Scheifele, but in the last season and what he's shown, he's not. He gets benched because he can't play, and it took him that long to get benched. We all know how Mark Scheifele plays defense because he never has. You don't need to know anything about how Mark Scheifele plays defense because he doesn't play defense. There's nothing to talk about. So when you have a guy that doesn't play consistently like that, and you have allowed him to grow into a player that doesn't have to backcheck, that feels like he doesn't need to do any of this, and then you bench him, and then you wonder why he's upset, maybe you should have not been a moron and taught the real two-way game to a dynamic center instead of making him just this powerhouse of a guy that can only play with Wheeler, and now that Wheeler can't keep up with him, they're in, what the hell? Why am I even talking? Look, what's the point? Every Jets game recap I've done this season, I've been called so many dumb names, and I always say, if you're going to make fun of me, do it properly, because I don't want to hear you say shut up and you don't know anything. Be creative at least, because I guarantee you I know more about this sport than you do, and I can't even skate backwards properly. This is without a doubt coming down to coaching. There's no soul, no love, there's nothing towards this. Look at the performance on the ice. This is the definition of a stale, congested locker room that needs to be shaken up dramatically. And not to mention the fact that Lowry's now gone for who knows how much longer in a yellow practice jersey today, if I'm not mistaken, at the at the practice. And now you have Ehlers out for the rest of the season. Your most dynamic forward. Good luck beating anyone in the Canadian division that's competent. Good luck. Look at the Leafs. Look at the Oilers. Hell, even look at the Habs. They actually have dynamic forwards and dynamic offense. What do the Jets have? Dump and chase, baby. Dump and chase, because it works every time. We know how successful it is because we've seen it for the last fucking 7 years under Paul Maurice. This game is everything that was wrong with last game done worse. And I didn't think that could be possible. I really didn't. But Paul Maurice always has a way of amazing me and surprising me and just making me hate him more and more as time goes by. I can't believe going into this season I still defended Paul Maurice. Even going into last season, I was like, you know what? Yeah, there are mistakes he makes, but he's not as bad as people say. It's the team. It's our personnel. Huh? You know, I told people going into this year, I talked so much hype about Ville Heinola because I thought he would be a game changer for us. That says enough of it is right there. Every person on the media, fan, whatever, when you asked them going into the season, oh, what's going to happen with the defense? Ville Heinola. Everyone talked about that. That was our guy. That was potentially our guy. Look what he was last year. He played great, played with whatever, blah, blah, blah. Good World Juniors, good Liga, shows up well for the Moose. Time to give him a shot. Oh, nope. 12 minutes on the third pairing, and then we send him back down because Paul Maurice, what? What? There's no excuse, none. Declan Chisholm is an AHL rookie. He's never played the AHL before. I would take Declan Chisholm over Forbert, over Pullman, hell, even over Logan Stanley at this point, because Logan Stanley's been pretty bad too. Dylan DeMello. I would take Declan Chisholm over fucking Josh Morrissey, because Josh Morrissey is beyond pathetic, and it's sad because I love Josh Morrissey, and I had to see what has happened to him breaks me more than the games do, because he was such a promising player with great personnel, and then all of a sudden everyone leaves, and oh, here, play with Nathan Beaulieu for 27 minutes a game, and that's your top pairing defenseman. Here's Tucker Pullman. That's your top pairing defenseman now for 25 minutes a game. And even though this game he wasn't the top pairing defenseman at times and didn't play the most amount of minutes, it doesn't matter. Josh Morrissey is overworked to the bone, and he's a shell of what he was. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's because he sucks or his skill vanished overnight? It's because he has nothing to work with. Nothing. Paul Maurice is the Jackson is like trying to be Jackson Pollock of hockey, except he's using his shit and he's throwing it on a canvas and he's like, art, beauty, it works every time, and no one's buying it anymore. It's beyond pathetic. It's beyond sad. It's downright disgusting how this team is being run. You can't tell me as a fan and look at the forward core, look at the prospects, the goaltending, and say that we should be this bad and we should lose games as often. There's no excuse for it anymore. There's no excuse why Ville Heinola shouldn't be with this team. None. There's no excuse why a guy like Sandberg shouldn't get a look because he's been playing well. There's no excuse why even a guy like Nathan Todd, who's been killing it with the Moose, should get a look before you even continuously play guys like Lewis and Thompson. But that's not going to happen. This team is a joke, an absolute travesty, and it's so depressing to watch because this team had so much potential. Look where they were, and now look at them. In 3 years, there's nothing good about this team anymore. Nothing. The only good thing about this team was Nikolai Ehlers this season, and he's gone. Connor Hellebuyck, I just feel bad for at this point because how many times, like Paul Stastny said, are you gonna rely on your amazing out-of-body humanoid goaltending performances that Connor Hellebuyck can give you, and then that's your back. Well, we get that from him, we win. That's your strategy. Beyond pathetic. This team is beyond pathetic. It is. There's nothing else to say about that. I don't want to make this video 25 minutes long because what's the point? I'm going to be saying everything I said on the other video the exact same way. This is a joke. Not about losing 4 games. This is an accumulation of everything wrong with the Jets from the last few seasons starting to actually finally show through. Connor Hellebuyck is cracked, thank God, because I love Connor Hellebuyck and he needed to crack because it's not fair to rely on him as much as they do. And honestly, maybe this will be a wake-up call to the organization that, oh shit, we've been being carried by a Vezina goaltender, not by our amazing coach who knows all and has all the power. Paul Maurice is viewed as a god in this organization, it feels like. He can't do no wrong. Nothing I feel like will change, but God, I hope so. Let me know your thoughts down on this game as always. Subscribe if you're a fan of hockey, regardless of the team you root for. Follow all my socials down in the description below as always if you want to stay in contact with me on multiple different social media platforms to talk hockey. Any time of day, I'm always down there to talk down hockey with any of you guys. So yeah, hit me up down there if you want to. I'm not saying go Jets go. The Jets don't get a go Jets go from me until they actually fix something with this team. I am done. This is a joke. This team is a joke. Paul Maurice is a joke, and something needs to be done. We're not going anywhere under Paul Maurice, and I hope you guys can finally start to see this because it's so sad, and it's just beyond depressing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Peace, love, and positivity. Go Jets. No, I'm just joking. You know I ain't going to do that. Get out of here with that. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.